Hello, fans. Welcome to another episode of, Fictional Character Motivation. I'm your host, Quan, and today I'm going to be going a little bit darker but deeper at the same time. Exorcise your demons, like the exorcist. Hope everyone has a good day, and here we go. The Exorcist, one of the scariest and, from what I've heard, one of the most profitable horror movies ever made, came out in 1973. When young Reagan starts acting odd, such as levitating and speaking a language she clearly does not, she clearly ain't supposed to know, her mother seeks medical help, only to hit a dead end. A local priest, however, thinks the girl may be seized by the devil. The priest makes a request to perform an exorcism, and the church sends in an expert to help with the difficult job. On top of The Exorcist, there'll be maybe one or two other movies, not three, that kind of pop in that have an interesting premise or involve an exorcism. It involves The Conjuring, both the first and the second one, and The Rite, which was one of the last good exorcism movies that I saw. That starred Anthony Hopkins. Love Anthony Hopkins. But when you are possessed by a demon, or when they're possessed by a demon, you tend to not be in the best spirit, or not even in a positive mindset. It's about to get deep, hear me out. We say things we don't mean, do things we don't usually do things we don't want to do technically. We do evil, dark things. But it all starts from the inside. So to me, isn't there a link between a dark spirit possessing you and feeling low, feeling unworthy, feeling depressed, feeling pessimistic, feeling low belief in self, even experiencing dark thoughts, even experiencing addiction? Isn't there an interesting link to that? So with negative mindsets and beliefs, you are already not at the best place mentally. How can we uplift that? How can we exorcise those demons? Which if we dissect the word demon, dark evil spirit, it came from its archaic word daemon, which means inner, attendant spirit, and weirdly enough, an inspiring force. Think about that. The word that first stood for dark evil spirit first starts off with inner. So it already knows it's from inside you, whether it be here or here. It's something from the inside. It's an attendant spirit. So it's not a spirit that is there, that's pretty much been there. It just bees with you. An inspiring force. Yes, there are some things that can inspire dark deeds, but when we hear something inspiring, we automatically connect it with something that's inspiring in a good way. Think about that. Let that hit for a sec. Just the fact that the big bad word is actually, its archaic meaning has clues as to how maybe exorcism should actually be viewed when you think about it. But going into it, and these are pretty much most of the same ways when you really think about it, how an exorcism may be performed. So, granted, I'm not an exorcist. I'm just using pretty much the movies, the film that we see from where it is from slightly real life, converting it into motivational speak. That might help you today. So keep that in mind. I am not an exorcist. I'm quite spiritual. I do believe in God, but I'm not gonna go in that far. But if you see the link that I have, keep that in mind. So, with that being said, first thing is you see the symptoms to find its name. Most of the time in most exorcist movies, the demon wants to protect its name. Because as soon as you figure it out, you know it now. And from what I've seen, from the movies that I've seen, that's part of the game. It doesn't want to be given a name. It doesn't want to be given its true name or what it could be called. But mental health is a serious thing, very serious. And you have to keep it in check, at bay, or maybe defeat it. So one way to figure out where your mental health is, or what mental health issues you may have, is to do a little research. I'm not saying WebMD, because we already know that WebMD goes from, oh, it's this and this, to you might have cancer. Let's not go that far, or at least don't go to that site. But check into it. Check out some symptoms. Check out what people have gone through. Even review your life of what you've gone through that might have resulted in you having said demon. Resulted in you having said demon of low self-esteem, demon of addiction, demon of pessimism, demon of nihilism. Research, check it out. Check out what happened in your past, what triggered that, what started that. And usually once they find that out, that's when the battle usually begins. Sometimes it is ahead and they're protected to the very end. But even at the very end, you still got to prepare for a battle. That's number two. So one is finding out what you're fighting. Is it really this or is it really that? Once you figure it out, prepare for a battle. And when fighting this battle, know that this sickness, it does not own you. Or it's not even a part of you. Remember, go back to demon. Starts inner, but it is an attendant spirit. It is there. It is not your spirit. It is a different one. It just happened to come into you. It's not a part of you. It wants you to think that it is. It wants you to think that you're born with low self-esteem. It wants you to think that you're born with that addiction, that it is that addiction, or if that mental tick, that low self-esteem, that anxiety thinks that yes, it is, this is how we are. But no. It's not. It's not a part of you. But it's just something that's stuck onto you. Something happened. And because of that thing that happened, that's when it got into you. And when it got into you, it never wanted to budge. Each time a trigger happens, each time you see that thing, feel that thing, or in a certain situation like it, guess what? It rears its little head. It whispers. A lot of pretty much demonic movies or exorcism movies that involve that say that pretty much you hear them whispering. Isn't it kind of interesting that they have similar cases? Think about it. Really, really dig into this. Dig into it like I'm digging into it, because I'm actually going like, ooh. But just really think about it. When you have a negative thought, when you have a certain anxiety trigger or a certain mental health sickness or anything that you know for sure, doesn't it almost sound like whispers? Doesn't it almost sound like, hey, this is going to happen. This bad thing is going to happen. It's so going to happen. No, good things are not in the cards for you. Doesn't it sound like that? See the connection I'm trying to foster here? Think about that. Let it hit for a bit. Figure out the best way to fight it, to strategize, have every base covered, and have every door and window locked, figuratively speaking. And then, when you figure out pretty much how to combat it, how to keep it away, figure out how to improve this to keep your spirit up and stronger than ever. Because, number 3, and the last one that you notice in some exorcism movies, is you have to keep preparing, keep protecting, keep improving, and go into your new self with new knowledge that you can take this thing on. Because if you do beat it, good. The battle is over. The war is just beginning. And the thing that these sicknesses, these demons know, talking about connecting that mental health, keep it in mind, keep that connection, mental health. And call them mental health issues some kind of demons, but think about that, keep that in mind. Is that most of the time they may come back. There may be times where you win the battle and you may win the war, but the war usually continues because there may be a new trigger that pops up. You may find out a new way. And the fact is, the war not only continues because of the fact of, they're going to find a new way, but these certain things, they know the bad parts of you. They know the weakest parts of you. They know these things. But you must know you're not bad. You're good. You can do good. You can be good. You must know that you are not pathetic. You must know that you are awesome. You must know that when you hear that word of, I can't do this, you must know that you can do this. This is the thing that can happen. This is the thing you can achieve. And I hope this episode hits on with the connection that I made. So remember those 3 things. First thing is know what you're fighting. Know the symptoms. Second thing is prepare to fight it. Prepare for the battle. And the third thing is after you defeat them in a fight, continue to prepare, continue to improve, and continue to fight the next time, because the battle is over, but the war is just the beginning. And if you want to win the war of your mind, of your soul, spirit in a way, you have to keep on improving. You have to keep on adapting. You have to keep on making sure that you can take this on. If any of this resonates with you, please let me know. As usual, my YouTube is Mind of Quan, and that's mind. You know how to spell mind now by now, hopefully. Of, you know how to spell of by now. Just Quan, which is Quan. Look for this episode, Fictional Character Motivation, or FCM dash exercising your demons. Yep, exercise your demons like the exorcist. And leave a comment, leave a like. I hope everyone has an awesome day. And remember, don't let those demons bring you down. Figure them out as they have figured you out. Know you can do this. Know that I believe that you can do this. That I believe you can improve, that you can get better, that you can get to where your dreams are, that you can do what you want to do in the most positive way. Because we all have something bad about us. It happens. We all have something that guilts us. We all have something that hurts. But know that that's not just you. You're not just the bad. You are the good. You have done good. You know you've done good. Other people know you've done good. Keep that in mind. Be positive. Fight it off. Exercise. And deuces.